Communication. It's going on nonstop every second of every day. It happens in written form, face-to-face, and most commonly, online. Thanks to today's technology, communication takes place almost instantly. Across continents, in every corner of the world, in the blink of an eye. The fact is, your ability to communicate effectively can play a big part in landing a job, and more importantly, getting ahead in the job. In today's job market, soft skills are just as important to employers as hard skills. Many hiring managers tell us that a job candidate with strong soft skills has the edge when it comes to getting a job offer or even a promotion. And what's one of the most highly sought soft skills? You guessed it, communication. Welcome to How to Write a Business Email, part of the Job Genius series from Express Employment Professionals. Think about this for a second. There are nearly 3 billion emails sent every day. 3 billion! And the average office employee's inbox is bombarded with around 120 emails each day. With that kind of volume, it's important to know how to craft an email that cuts through the clutter and gets noticed. Because despite the electronic barrage, the majority of business professionals still prefer to communicate via email. So let's get started on helping you become an email expert. The subject line. The first thing is to begin with a strong, effective subject line. A good subject line can be the difference between your email getting read or getting deleted before it's even opened. The key to a good subject line is to keep it short and specific. In just a few words, tell the recipient what your email is about, like meeting on Thursday. Keeping it short also helps ensure that the subject fits on smartphone previews. Avoid using words like urgent or important to gain attention, unless it really is. And avoid being vague just to create interest. The opening. With a strong subject line, you're ready to get the conversation started. And just like in a face-to-face conversation, you don't just get right to business. Use a courteous greeting like good afternoon or dear so-and-so to ease into the message. Include the recipient's name to add a little personal touch. It also lets them know that they're not getting just another mass email. And don't shorten their name like making Elizabeth Liz or Stephen Steve unless you're on familiar terms with the recipient. After a short greeting, get straight to the point with a reason for your email. Say it the right way. Composing a business email is different than other forms of communication, such as texting. It's a little more formal, so be sure to use upper and lowercase letters in sentences correctly. Using all lowercase letters comes across as lazy, and using all caps makes it seem like you're shouting. And avoid acronyms like for talk to you later, in my opinion, and by the way. They may work well with texting, but not so much with a business email. And same goes with emojis. If you want to say something, just use your words, not emojis. Make it reader-friendly. Proper punctuation, or a lack thereof, can drastically change the meaning of a sentence. For example, one little comma makes a huge difference between "let's eat, Grandma" and "let's eat, Grandma." Do you see what I mean? Next, make sure you choose a readable font. Calibri and Verdana are good choices for email readability. Both are widely available and give your message a clean and professional look. Avoid fonts like Comic Sans and other cartoon-like fonts. They don't look professional and may be annoying to the reader. Don't overdo it with multiple question marks and exclamation points. One is plenty. Using too many of one or both comes across as unprofessional, and to some recipients, even rude. As you write an email, make your message easy to read. A huge block of solid text is uninviting and difficult to read. Keep in mind, a lot of emails are being read on a mobile phone. Keep your paragraphs short and put spaces between paragraphs. You can also use bullet points and numbered lists to improve readability. And before you click send, take a few minutes to proofread what you've written, make corrections, and polish your message. Attachments. There are a few things to keep in mind when adding an attachment. First and most important is to actually attach the attachment. If you're sending an email with an attachment, remember to make that one of the first things you do after clicking Compose. And it's a good idea to open the attachment to be sure you're including the right thing. Mention the attachment in your email and let the recipient know what you'd like them to do with it. Help the recipient by making the attachment as manageable as possible. Compress or zip big files and pay attention to the image file sizes. And only send attachments that the recipient absolutely needs. Don't make them sort through a mess of unnecessary files. Be brief, be clear. If your email includes a request, make it clear and make it stand out. Set it apart on a single line or make it a bullet point. You want to keep your message brief, but at the same time include enough information to prevent a long back and forth exchange. End your email with a specific call to action or a clear request if you need follow-up from the recipient. Ask for what you need. Don't expect them to figure it out for themselves. Finally, end with a thank you. Expressing your gratitude or appreciation for the recipient's time is just good manners and a good way to build rapport. Also, include your first name, even if your email contains an electronic signature. Which leads us nicely into your email signature. Many companies have email signature templates ready for you, but if you're a job seeker, here are a few things to keep in mind. Your signature should include other ways you can be contacted, things like your phone number and your mailing address. And avoid using images in your signature. Images may cause your email to be quarantined by spam filters, and sometimes they show up as attachments, which can be a bit confusing to the recipient. And don't use political or religious quotes. These kinds of things may alienate recipients and are best saved for your personal communication. Group email. Sending a group email has its own set of rules. Here are a few things to keep in mind. First, only include recipients that really need the email. Be sure that everyone you're sending it to has a solid reason to be included. Also, know the difference between the to and the CC fields. Recipients in the to field are the people you expect to respond or take action. They're the people you include in the greeting. The CC field is for the people who just need to be kept informed. Use BCC to protect someone's privacy, like when you need to include a recipient who would prefer not to have their email address given out. Reply. When you reply to an email, in addition to everything we spoke about earlier, there are a few other things to keep in mind. First, respond in a timely manner. Less than 24 hours is the expectation in the business world. If you need more time, at least let the sender know you received their email and when they can expect a complete response. Answer all the sender's questions. That means reading the entire email from top to bottom before you click reply. Be sure you reply to the most current email in the thread to avoid wasting time and effort, both yours and the recipient's. And finally, don't keep replying to the same email if the subject of the communication changes. When that happens, begin a new email with a relevant subject line. Well, that's going to wrap up our business email video. This is certainly not everything that there is to know, but the more care and consideration you give to your communications, however you choose to communicate, will only add to your success. Thanks for watching. The Job Genius Education Series is presented by Express Employment Professionals. Being a job genius is in your future. Watch all the videos to get started on your path to a great job. Visit expresspros.com/jobgenius or search for Job Genius on YouTube to learn more.